Some people like to go to the gym and get their frustrations out. Mine is throwing on those boots and backpack and just going. I just love to get out there and do it. And so to be able to do this 16 days in a brand new area like this is totally remote. I mean, we're in untouched country.
I've always wanted to hunt goats. They've been on the bucket list for quite a while. And in the lower 48, that's just a major waiting game. So decided to come up to British Columbia.
We've been planning this hunt for a year and a half. And now we flew into this little tiny strip in the middle of nowhere today, and it's crazy how it all comes together.
Killed it. Then you see the bear stand up, and we got the binoculars on it, and he shot it through.
Having an opportunity like this is just, it's kind of once in a lifetime. These animals are not one of those you hunt every single day.
Military uses.
Last night, some of the guides got back to camp and told us they'd spotted some nice, couple nice billies up on this big rock peak you can see behind me here. And so we climbed a good 2,000, 2,500 vertical feet this afternoon. It took us 3 hours, and now we're sitting in this pretty basin here. We've got some water, camp set, tents are set, just had a hot meal. And so we're probably going to climb another couple 2,000 feet and see what we can see in this basin right above us. But if not, we'll crest over the backside and look into a whole nother, big drainage to see what's back there.
Moose, grizzly. Oh God, there was all kinds of grizzly sign back in there. Wolf tracks because of the moose.
I think the thing that surprised me the most was the quantity of goats on these mountaintops. Just the idea that there's so many peaks around here that they haven't even explored, and they all have goats on them. So just to think the sheer quantity of goats in this area is pretty unbelievable.
My daughter Emma will do our nighttime routine. We'll go to bed. She always likes to hear Daddy's adventures on all his mountain trips, and so we'll read a book, and then we'll do. I'll tell her a story of one of my trips, one of my adventures, and one of them is talking about my mountain prayers. And so, because we've talked about it so many times, last Father's Day, she made me a little card that I keep right here all the time. It's a picture of my two daughters and an amazing little saying that she came up with all on her own. So, it's right here next to my heart, and makes me think about them all the time, and I know it keeps me safe. Super clear last night. Woke up this morning. All the fires in BC is getting super smoky, even up at this 6,000 feet. We just climbed 1,500 vertical feet, and After watching some 7 goats this morning, they popped over the hill like 12:30 this afternoon, and we watched them for quite a while. And we had one billy that was definitely, he was picked out. And we were making our way to that billy, 1,600 yards away across this giant basin. And all of a sudden, Will yells out, "Hey, right here, right here!" And laying underneath the cliffs right below us, we didn't even know, 230 yards.
Ready to shoot again. Shoot or you can't.
And we had to sit and wait for the billy get into a flat zone so I could anchor him on the cliff. He's laying there, he's done. The work begins, but this is an amazing experience. Beautiful country. This is absolutely what I love. I mean, this is why I'm here. It's tough. It's not for everybody. It's super rugged, nasty country. But this is fun to me. A lot of people might think this isn't fun, but this is what I love right here, for sure. Thank you very much to these guys right here. I mean, this is killer job today, guys. It's awesome. I appreciate it so much.
So we just retrieved Luke's goat. It's a beautiful animal. The guys are cutting it up right now, keeping it, and we are currently watching at about 1,500 yards another single white dot across the canyon here. So it's kind of sort of on the way back to camp. So if it turns out to be another billy, which we're thinking it is, we might just be able to make today a twofer.
So after getting it all caped out, we were able to see some other goats. And so we thought, Dan has a tag, let's, try again. And so after we got all loaded up and got off that real scary cliff, we made it in pursuit again. We had 3 or 4 hours. Got over to where the goats were, and we saw an Annie and a kid, but the billy was not around anymore. So it hit about 8 o'clock this evening. We dropped 700 vertical feet back down to the tent, and it's like 10 o'clock now. So tomorrow morning will just be another day. It'll be Dan's turn, his adventure, and his quest to fill his lifelong dream tag.
So this morning we woke up and left camps, climbed back up to roughly where Luke killed his billy yesterday, and just sat there for about an hour or so and glassed over here. Saw a group of goats come out. We saw there was one billy in the group, but from that distance it was just too hard to tell the size of the billy. So we side-hilled the whole way around the basin, got over here and watched the whole group, 9 in all, until we got a real good look at the billy, and he just wasn't quite there. So I think what we're going to do now this afternoon is head down off, break camp, head back to the lodge for a night, catch a nice hot shower, and head back out again tomorrow to a different basin. It was probably about 1:30. We left to go up into the alpine, look for some goats. And we probably got 10 to 15 minutes down the trail before we started seeing some goat hair on some of the trees around the trail. It wasn't another minute or two, Luke said, guys, big billy, right up there. And he'd spotted one on a ledge, probably 200 to 300 vertical feet from where we were standing. And looked like a real good goat, hit it with the rangefinder. At that point it was 200 and change. And we got a little bit closer, and it took a little while to identify positively, yeah, that's a good billy. Let's tip him over.
Got it. Here he comes.
That is awesome. That hide. And as a good friend of mine would say, that is why you come to British Columbia. Good deal. It was neat to see in both situations, Luke's goat and my own, how it all came together like that. It just happened so quickly. On Luke's goat, it was a turnaround and there they are kind of thing, make it happen immediately. And on my goat, it was pretty much the same. Hiking in and a goat appeared where it was totally unexpected. All in all, I wouldn't trade this trip for the world. The people, the quantity of game, the quality of game, seeing the geological differences from the north side of the unit to the south side of the unit. Up there, it looks almost like tundra. There's lichen and there's black spruce, and you'd expect to see caribou behind every tree. And you go to the south end of the unit, and it looks a lot more like the arid lower 48, places in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. It looks a lot more like that. So the fact that you have that much variation in flora and fauna in one unit it's a lot to wrap your head around. Felt like that.
Probably the most unexpected thing for me was just harvesting a mountain goat in such a short period of time. I never thought in a million years we'd come up here. I had an elk tag, a wolf tag, a bear tag, and a goat tag. And I thought for sure, I'd kill a wolf and a bear way before my goat. And the fact that we got up there and got my goat in 2 days is just mind-blowing. I thought that was going to be the most challenging, the most, hardest thing ever. And so to be able to harvest 2 amazing goats in 5 days, was definitely totally unexpected for me.
All in all, I don't think that this trip could have gotten a whole lot better. 2 Boone and Crockett goats, a wolf, a black bear, interaction with grizzlies, moose, and lynx. It was a fantastic trip, one for the proverbial books.